For those of you who watch the podcast on YouTube, you're going to notice I am in a different setting, and that is because I am in the middle of a move. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm loving my new place. And today's episode is really going to be about going through stress with when you're in the right relationship with your person. It is something where you're a team. And I want to speak to that because moves, if you've ever moved, you know how stressful it can be, right? And I have been moving, so many times in my life. Like, I think I've counted it at least 40 times. You know, my parents love to move, and I moved a lot with them growing up. And so for me, I was very used to it. But when you're moving with kids and all this, it's always stressful. Moving is always stressful. But something that I absolutely love, and I want to tell you about it, because when you're with your person and you're in a right, healthy relationship, even when all shit is hitting the fan, when things aren't working out and things are difficult, it's amazing to have someone that you can really count on and you have each other's back. And if you're exhausted, like I'm literally in it, like this is like our third day in our new place. And we're like, I get very, oh my gosh, everything has to be perfect. I get very little OCD about it. And Will is so funny. He knows how I can get, and he's just like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to like leave town. Like while we're moving, but he takes a breath and he's like, let's just do the best we can and try to settle into this new house as much as we can. And it's really about me being aware of how I can get everything has to be perfect, and taking a breath and being aware of that and having patience and saying, okay, what can we do together to get this where I would like it? And we're a team and we're going into it. So sometimes I feel like when you're with someone that is like a toxic relationship, sometimes if you're getting stressed, they're adding fuel to that fire. Right? Have you ever been in a situation like that where you're both kind of going at it and you're just like it just blows up? Whereas if you're in a relationship that you're communicating, it's healthy, you're stressed, but the other person can sense it and can show up for you, that is a game changer. That is something where I want you to listen to this and be inspired by it and be like, okay, so when you're dating and you're connecting to people and seeing, if you feel like, even if you're in a discussion and you're getting stressed about something or whatever it is, if you're getting stressed about it, make sure you're communicating that to them and see how they show up for you. Are they just getting defensive? Are they attacking you? Are they adding fuel to the fire? Are you feeling more stressed after talking to them? Like, I feel like so much of, just seeing if you're with the right person is really taking a step back and be like, okay, wait a second. How am I feeling talking to this person? Like, if you're going through stress, that's totally normal and that's part of life. But like, I want you to be honest about whatever stress you're going through. And if you're dating somebody, I want you to be able to communicate whatever is going through your head and see how they are able to show up and alleviate stress. Or are they totally impatient with you? Are they like, whatever, I don't get it? Are they like being weird? Are they being defensive? And is it making you feel like the most important thing, I think, is like, how do you feel when you're with someone? If you're dating right now, I think back to your past relationships. When you're going through a move or something stressful, are they your partner, your teammate, making things easier for you, making your dreams come true? Or are they making your life so much more stressful? This is something where you got to take a step and reflect and say, oh, wow, okay. Because I honestly think sometimes we're like, oh, whatever, it's a move, it's so stressful. Like, everyone fights and it's crazy. It's just a stressful time. I honestly feel the opposite. Like, I feel like those times of stress is so important to see who they are, how they show up for you. Are you able to be vulnerable and communicate what you're going through? And do you feel safe, right, to share that? And are they able to help you? And if they don't, and if you're feeling like shit, and if you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't, or you're feeling worse, you're not with the right person. Something is wrong, like 100%. And so let me know, like, tell me if you're, I talk to so many of you guys in this community and I absolutely love it. So, make sure shoot me a DM or click below and you can get on a call with me. I love connecting with you, genuinely seeing where you're at in your life, who you're connecting with. Sometimes you don't have that clarity. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm with the right person or not. And going through this move, and I think Will and I have been, I should have done this episode with him, but he's like drenched in sweat and he's still moving because we have our other apartment that we're going to rent it out. So he's like taking all these boxes out. And I told him, I'm like, babe, I got to record this episode. And he's like, you're crazy. he's like, we're in the middle of a move. And I'm like, I know, but I need to do this episode. And I actually felt like this was awesome because this is so right now in my life and all the emotions are here. And I'm so excited about this house. Like, I'm telling you something, I actually feel like I really manifested it. And that could be a total different episode for sure. I need to do that. But what I love about this is that Will is always like, oh, we're happy in the other apartment. Like, we don't need anything else. I'm like, well, it'll be fun. Like, I'm the crazy one, right? But he is always like, happy wife, happy life. He's always like, all right, babe, let's check it out. And we saw this house and we absolutely fell in love with it. And it's like 3 times bigger than the other apartment, and it makes more sense with our 2 kids and the 2 dogs and all this stuff. So I just feel like all this stress of moving, it's so worth it. And having my person by my side through it and making it all, like helping me get it all done and happen is a dream. Like, it feels like I'm in a dream. I'm like, this is surreal. And I'm gonna be posting pictures and my story and on Instagram, the Jackie Lore, so you could see, like, oh my gosh, the views from this house. I can see the volcano on one side, the ocean on the other side, and I just feel really, really blessed. And I am able to receive that love, and so that is something where this experience of moving, being stressed, but when you're with the person in a healthy relationship, I'm able to tell him how I'm feeling stressed out and how I want things to be. And he is able to communicate in a healthy way. And we get shit done as a team. And we feel like so like blessed. And we're like, oh my gosh, last night we're like toasting, like, oh my gosh, babe, we're so happy. We're excited about life and we're doing it together. So take a step back and think about it. Are you with someone right now that you can do life with like that? Or are they adding stress to your life? Is it bye-bye time? Let me know in the comments. Shoot me a DM in the Jackie Lore. And if this show is just resonating with you, please, it would mean so much to me if you leave a review. That really helps me in this podcast reach out to more people that really I feel would benefit so much from it, so they don't settle, right? So as you're putting yourself out there, remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. I'll see you next time.